joaillerie at Zayn for GRS. I always had, this attraction to nature. Sometimes, my dad would take me to fishing trips in the south, and some days I would go and spend the day fishing, but other days I would just take my little hammer and go digging for fossils or collecting rocks. Led me later on to gemology, and this is how I started my education. The idea of creating jewelry, the whole idea of designing and wearing a beautiful piece, is nice, but for me, it's really important to also share my values about that the jewelry actually have a message. It's just like wearing a piece of jewelry and then you see it every day, and if it's just beautiful, it's a good thing. But if it does mean something that then you're even more proud of.
Ali bin Umair for Ali bin Umair. My background was media, and I studied jewelry after that. And I've always had this idea that jewelry can be made of precious stones and gems. But then I found out that I can do jewelry out of very interesting materials. I work with different objects and materials from the UAE, and I'm interested in working with our traditional crafts, and I seek different forms of presenting it.
As a Askhiri for Didan Jewelry, I got the opportunity to go and live in Egypt. It's there that I begin to learn how to do and design and do actually jewelry in the atelier back in the souks in Khan Khalili. I'm a woman of many hats: jewelry and interior design. I'm passionate about beautiful things.
Dima and Tanya for L'Atelier Nobar. Being fourth-generation jewelers, we grew up around jewelry. We'd always go to my father's workshop. He'd include us in his buying process in stones, in gold and diamonds. We loved it, and it was part of our DNA. From my father, my grandfather, to my great-grandfather, we are the first women to take over the 120-year-old business.
I think what's the most special about L'Atelier Nobar is being inspired by different eras and time. If you look at our jewelry, there's always a feeling of vintage and new.
And what helped us get through 2020 was just being creative, and we kept on designing. And we're pushing to teach artisans and their children to come and stay in this trade